My parenting video, I'm going to let you know some of the choices me and my husband have when it comes to parenting now and in the future, and hopefully you guys like it. When it comes to spanking, we don't spank. We have tried spanking Kamaya before. I felt tons of guilt from spanking her, and I don't feel like it helps at all. So we find other ways around it. Most of the time it's like threaten timeout and she's fine. Or if I count to 5, she's good and listens. So, I mean, I occasionally yell. I don't scream, but I do occasionally yell, and I'm not proud of that. I'm trying to find other ways around that. So, but all in all, our kids are awesome, so they're not too bad. Diapers. Cloth versus disposable. We did only disposable with Kamaya, and with Kindlen we tried cloth. They leaked a lot, so we still use cloth on and off, and disposable as well. Mercy, I would love to do more cloth than I do disposable, and eventually when we have our 4th child, have that down pat. So, still learning. Still have plenty of time to get that going. Let's see, breastfeeding versus formula feeding. I only formula fed Kamaya. That's all she got was formula. I never even tried to breastfeed her at all. With Kindlen, she's never had formula and only had breast milk. And for Mercy, it'll probably only be breast milk as well. I prefer breastfeeding. I feel like the closeness and bond, I think, is great, but it's rough because they're constantly attached to you, and sometimes use that as a form of a pacifier. So it gets rough on times when you get stuff done or the other kids need you. But I like breastfeeding, so I think I'm gonna stick with it, and it's cheap, so can't complain. Vaccinating. Kamaya has had all her shots since she was born, and with Kindlen we actually delayed. She has yet to have a vaccine. Probably when she hits 2, she'll get her first set of vaccinations. Same with Mercy. She'll probably get her first set at 2, unless I somehow change my mind, but I think we're pretty set on that. We delay because I don't like the amount they put just in little infants. I can't imagine. That's just me. I've done a lot of research on it, and I'm doing what I feel is best now that I've researched it. So that's where I stand on that. Babywearing. We have a Bjorn, I don't even know how to say that, carrier, and a ring sling, and a Moby. I used the Bjorn a few times with Kindlen. My husband used it a lot more than I did. I have not figured out the ring sling nor the Moby, but I really want to figure that out before Mercy gets here. And I want Babywear a whole lot more, even though I hold the kids most of the time anyways. Even still, they get held. Kindlen more than Kamaya, obviously, but they do still get held. And they're always close. So even though I'm not doing much with Babywearing, they're pretty much always in my arms, or always have been in my arms. Kindlen a lot more than I think Kamaya, because with Kamaya I had the car accident, so a lot of things I just didn't do. Yeah. So let's see. Sleeping, we co-sleep. So Kamaya is still in bed with us, Kindlen is still in bed with us, and Mercy will be in bed with us. We have a little co-sleeper thing for the baby, so it doesn't get rolled over on or nothing like that. That would be horrible. So I do place baby next to me when I breastfeed and it falls asleep, but at least that's how it was with Kindlen. But I'm usually really careful. So, and we have a thing on the side of the bed, so railings so they don't fall out. I don't know how long the kids are going to sleep with us. Honestly, I'm always afraid that a fire is going to happen or something horrible because my anxiety is so bad. I'm always worrying, and they are extremely close to us. So they just are not happy if we're not by them or somewhere near. So I don't know when they're going to adjust to actually sleeping in their own bed, or if they do it all. I think that by teen years they'll be out of our bed. I hope. I'm sure they will, though. It's just right now it's comforting to them because they're so young. Kindlen has never slept in any bed except for ours. Kamaya slept in her crib on and off for a few months as a baby. And she slept in her toddler bed maybe twice, but in backup bed with us. So she, basically their beds are just to play on, I guess. Mercy will probably not even sleep in her crib at all, unless during the day. But at night she'll probably be in bed with us too, like Kindlen always has been. Let's see. I keep saying that. I'm trying to think. Bathing, we co-bathe. I don't know, it seems like it's so much easier to just co-bathe and just get it all taken care of. Yeah, I mean, probably co-bathe with Mercy too. I obviously don't the first few months because I can't. From the C-section scar, you gotta take a shower and you can't actually take a bath, so we have tried the sink. We have bathed in the sink. Some people think that's disgusting. I don't, because bleach cleans everything, really. So I'm not really worried about that. We have a little blooming flower thing for the sink also. And we got baby bathtubs. I think we got 3. And the girls takes baths by themselves, so it's not by themselves. They usually take a bath together, so on and off occasionally. Schooling. We are planning to send them to public school. Kamaya obviously goes to public school. Unless they're having issues. If they're having issues and need one-on-one help, we will put them in a private school. Because I know how hard it is to struggle in school. So if they need one-on-one help, we will put them in private school. That's just how that's going to go because education is important. I do not plan homeschool. Homeschooling is not something that I think I'm up for because I don't think I have the education myself to teach my children. And I don't want them to miss out on something because I can't teach them something, and I don't want them to miss out on that because of me. So I do not plan on homeschooling my children. Favoritism. Do I have a favorite child? We do not play favoritism inside of our family. It's just never going to happen. It's not happening. Love all my kids equally, and that is how it's always going to stay. I don't even know how someone can choose a favorite child. I don't know, because I couldn't imagine. They're both, all 3 of them are blessings, and I cannot wait until Mercy's here and all 3 of my pretty girls can be here, and I'm excited. Public shaming. Each parent has their own way of parenting. I personally don't think I could ever publicly shame my child, make them hold up signs like, oh, I did this, or oh, I don't think I could do that. To me, that's just breaking down their self-esteem, and I don't want to do that. So I am not really for public shaming at all. I mean, I guess whatever works for one parent works for that parent, but it's just, I just couldn't do that to my child. Yeah. Cry it out. We do not do cry it out. And a lot of people will say, oh, you're spoiling your baby, because I've heard that so much. It's not even funny. And I don't care if I'm spoiling my baby or whatever. I don't think you could really spoil a baby, in my opinion. I mean, my kids are really clingy, but we are a very close-knit family, so, and I don't care that they're clingy. It's hard to get things done sometimes, but I'm not gonna let my baby just cry it out. I can't. It hurts me probably more than it hurts them, but we do not cry it out. I usually just cuddle them. So, money for chores, allowance. I do plan to do allowance in the future when they're older. Now they're learning, so a lot of the stuff we're trying to like pick up. Kamaya wants to do dishes, and she wants to cook, and she wants to help a lot, and that's great. And I mean, obviously, I praise her for that, and I'm teaching her different things. And I'm glad that she wants to learn stuff. She really wants to do gardening and literally everything. But yeah, I'm all for allowances in the future. Television. We do allow our children TV time, sometimes more than I'd like to admit, especially when it's cold out or raining or something, then it's, yeah, or later. They are glued to the TV occasionally, or Kamaya to her tablet, or occasionally to my phone. And on car rides, she has her tablet, and Kindlen has a big tablet that's hooked to the back of my husband's seat, or the driver's seat. He usually drives. And at least in the car. And she watches that, so I'm sure a lot of TV time is not good. And I try to do crafts with them every now and then, and we go outside, and we do a lot of other stuff, go places, and I'm sure if you follow my Instagram, you see that they're not constantly glued in front of the TV, but they do have TV time, you know. And they don't watch our shows usually. I mean, usually it's children's shows that are on. I mean, occasionally me and my husband, like, very rarely, now especially, we will have like a cooking show on or something, and they'll be watching that, or the news, but that's about it. Parenting duties. Me and my husband actually both share the parenting duties, so he helps with baths, and he helps cooks occasionally. He chores, no, I won't say chores because we're adults, but household stuff he does too. He does honestly a lot, and he's really helpful, especially when it's hard for me to do things because the girls are constantly crying for me for something. So we do share the duties around the house and with the kids, and like changing diapers and all that. Obviously he can't breastfeed, so can't really share like getting up at night for breastfeeding, nothing like that, but you know, he's great. I can't complain. Religion. Okay, with religion, we are actually teaching our kids, well, they're growing up, I should say, in a Christian household. We go to church on Sunday, and I try to tell them about God and Jesus and all that, and I mean, I hope that stays with them. But I know eventually they're going to be adults and go on their own paths in life, and I can only do what I can do now, so hopefully, I mean, stays. I mean, I don't know. So, stay-at-home mom versus working. Well, I stay at home. I do not trust almost anybody with my children, and not a daycare after seeing so many horrific videos and hearing horrific things and working at daycare myself. I used to work, but obviously not now. I just couldn't, unless I worked there and my kids came with me, I just couldn't do it. That's just me. Do I plan on working? I do plan on working in the future. And I actually want to start my own business. hopefully soon down the road. Not going into a lot of details yet because it's still like in the thought process, but yeah, it's a big hope that I hope to get done. I got, I guess, a lot of like plans, and hopefully everything works out. But I'll probably do that nights when the kids are asleep and throughout the day when it's not so busy. So that's the plans. Do I think my children should raise the other children? So the older kids raising the younger kids, I don't think that they should be forced to. No. I do think that if I have, like, let's say a 16-year-old and me and my husband want to go out, and obviously a 16-year-old is mature and I have like a 5-year-old, then I would ask and hope that the 16-year-old would want to, but I would not force the 16-year-old to watch the 5-year-old. Would not force. And I may actually do like allowance for that too, like babysitting. I don't know. That's not really, we haven't really talked a lot about that. But I wouldn't like do the whole Duggar thing. Force one kid to get the other kid ready and this one, this and this one. I mean, that's not, they didn't have the children. They shouldn't raise the children, in my opinion. I don't think that me and my husband are strict, so strict parents or not. I think that we are pretty well balanced. We're lenient on some things and strict on some other things, but I think we're probably more lenient than we are strict. That can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. I don't even know that we hit well balanced because we're kind of easygoing most of the time. Sorry, my voice is being all rattly. I don't know. I've had a cough for a while, so yeah, I think that we're fairly well balanced. Between well balanced and lenient, I would say. Like, if the kids jump on furniture, I don't really care. I like to do that. Kids will be kids, a lot of things. So that's just how I am. But I hate like when Kamaya is mean to Kindlen. I'm kind of like, I'll get on to her especially for that because I hate seeing her bully her younger sister, and I just hate it because Kindlen's so little and I don't want her to pick up on that and go to school and bully because she's bullied at home. No. That doesn't go very well with me. I mean, I get on to her and it gets rough sometimes. But she usually knows she did something wrong, and so she's just kind of like, but, and I try to explain to her, you can't do that because you don't want to be bullied, and talk to her about it. Do we want a big or a small family? We want around, well, I say me, my husband agrees with me, so he doesn't care. So I say I want around 7 kids, maybe more. We want to adopt when the kids are a little older. I would like to adopt at least 2, and I think I want to have at least 5. So I'm going to have like 5 kids of my own. I don't know that we'll ever really stop though, because I don't really plan to get my tubes tied. So unless medically necessary, I mean, I obviously will, but if medically necessary. But I don't have any plans to, because I'm so indecisive, so I don't want to be like, okay, tubes tied, then decide I want more. And then want to adopt a few when the kids are a little bit older. I don't know how many I plan to adopt, but I know that I've thought a lot about sibling sets, and I mean, I'm fine with going with 1, but I don't know. Let's see. If I had a special needs child, would I hold them back in any way? I would not. I mean, obviously, special needs kids have their own needs and all that, but I wouldn't want to force them to stay at home all the time or to live miserably. I would want to, let them go to school if possible. If it's, it depends, honestly, it really depends on the issue and the disability that would alter my opinion on it. Like Down syndrome, get a Down syndrome kid, I would obviously send the child to school and teach them and let them try to live as normally as they want to. Obviously, they have to be watched. But I mean, I've seen that show, and I don't remember what it's called, and I've only seen pieces of it, but they don't want to be, you know, treated any differently and all that. And I would want to encourage, you know, some independency and not force them to stay at home all the time. And, you know, I don't think that's fair. If they want to go to college, then they can go to college. If they want to live in a house, you know, it'd be tough. And I may choose, like, their own spot in the house. Like, I must have had a basement, and I could just have it, like, perfectly furnished and have a little kitchen there and everything. But I don't know. Like, it depends on how the child is, honestly. You know, we've talked about it, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, it depends on their mentality and the disability and all that. Because each kid's different and each disability is different. So it all depends on, you know, how that person is and their personality and their maturity and stuff like that. Food. We are not real strict on food. Some things we probably should be. And I try to limit certain things. Like, I don't want to drink like a million cans of soda or even tons of candy, but Killen's not actually big on candy, surprisingly. She just will put candy in her mouth and spit it back out, usually. She doesn't care for it. Maya, on the other hand, enjoys candy. But I've been teaching her about how eating too much sugars is not good for you and all that, and we don't just eat junk. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to even say about that. I'm not against them eating chips and candy as long as they don't overdo it. And I know Killen's young, and I know that sounds insane. But she's not really big on candy anyway, so. And we don't really get chips very often. We occasionally do. Let's see, routine. We are almost on a schedule. Getting close to a schedule. My husband's job shift changing. It's been harder a little bit because they're trying to adjust to it. But they usually go to sleep around between 8 and 10:30 usually. It's kind of changed to 10:30. Usually it was like 8 and 9:30, but getting adjusted, I guess, was a little rough. They usually have supper around 6 or 7, and they have their baths. That's how that is. I think that's about it. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. I don't know that abortion is really, well, I guess it could be parenting if I'm pregnant, but I never have an abortion, so I brought it up. I would never have one. I never had one. But if someone's had one, I'm not going to sit here and judge them at a time, and I would have. And, you know, my mind's been opened. I'm pro-life, so I mean, that's just how I am. I wouldn't care if my child had a disability or whatever. It wouldn't change my mind about keeping my child, but I think it's wrong for me to judge someone who has chosen to and sit there and throw it in their face. To me, it's not making the situation any better, so I'm not going to do that. That's about it, I think. This is a long video, and I'm sorry. That's all the video, I think. Any questions you have, leave in the comments below. And if you haven't, then subscribe. And thanks for watching.